So yesterday was Riftbound's new set Vendetta's release day, and it is one day after. Today is August 1, and I am competing right away with the new set using Shen. So yesterday I bought the showdown deck and I completed all the cards. For Shen, I got some of the cards from the new set with Shen, and I prepared weeks before Vendetta's release. I bought all of the cards that I needed to buy. I gathered all of the cards that I had available, put them all in the deck after picking up the showdown deck yesterday. So we are gonna see what a day one, or technically day two, Shen deck is like, at least for my build. I'm gonna be using this to compete at a Nexus night. I'll show you what it's like. I'll show you the whole deck, so you have an idea of what I'll be playing with. So let's switch to the other POV. Alright, so new POV, this is the full deck. I'll put a link down below for the full deck list so that you can try it out. You can play around with it, see what you want to change. And if you just want to try it out online or Rift Atlas, wherever, it's going to be on there in the comments down below. Okay, so I'll go over this real quick. I have one Shell Legend. You give a tank to an enemy, to a friendly unit this turn. So it's action speed. You can protect a unit by using him. So if you have two bodies and you want to protect one over the other, give unit to one and save the other one. Okay, so the chosen champion is Shen. As you'll see, this is from Origins, not from Vendetta. This is the one that has ambush, shield 2, not ambush, reaction actually, shield 2 and tank. So this is good for protecting your other units as well. And this is nice with the new battlefield. This one, units here with tank have +1. He goes to, if you're defending, this 3 becomes +2 because of shield, and then +1 more from tank, so from 3 to 6. So really nice. And Lonely, I have 3 Lonely Poros for draw. This is the new card from Vendetta, Mournful Witness. When a combat that I was in ends, empower me. So this is really good because it's a 2 cost, and then if it survives, it becomes 4. So a 2 cost for a 4, if you're able to hold, which is, if you can save it very easy with a bunch of the spells that we have, like Discipline, Key Barrier, Back Off, Emperor's Divide. This could go to 4 very easily. Then Scuttle, only 1 Scuttle for the draw. I have Trevor, where if he holds, play a 3 might ready Sprite with temporary. So this becomes a 6 body, 2-3 might units. This also has shields if it's defending, so 7. So really nice holding, because you are able to add more bodies to your battlefield. Aurelia, Deflect. Aurelia is just really good. Why I like Aurelia here, I have 3 of her, because Shen, which doesn't cost anything, chooses, if you choose her, she goes to 5. And then if it's your turn, for example, let's say it's your turn, she gets ready, becomes 5. If you choose her, with that gets, I know she does get tank, but she goes to 6. So very easily you can get her might up because of Shen's legend ability. So I really like her as well. So also nice to have as a unit if you have to go on defensive, because you can't always just rely on being defensive. In Riftbound, I don't think it works well if you're just purely defensive. You have to have some offensive options. With that being said, this is somewhat offensive. Blitzcrank. This is the card that I really love here. I have 3 of him in this deck because he's able to kill tempo of your enemy. To play him to a battlefield, you can get a unit from your enemy's units to that battlefield. If obviously you pick one weaker than him, kill it, kill the tempo of the enemy. That's really nice. The staples: Discipline, Defy, Key Barrier is new, so I have 3 Discipline, 3 Defy. And then Key Barrier, I have 3 of it. This is new reaction speed. Choose a unit, prevent the next 7 damage that would be dealt this turn. So for example, a 2-might unit, you'd need to kill it with 9 might. So it doesn't go to 9 might because this is more like, this is not a shield because shield is different in this game. This is like an armor. So you have to deal 7 and then deal 2 more to kill Morphled Witness. But Morphled Witness will stay as 2. So, but this is good for letting her survive and then empowering her. So I have 3 of the key barriers, really good for holding. Not just for her, for other cards as well. And then Charm, another one, similar to Blitz, to kill tempo for an enemy. I have 2 back-offs, to stun, and then the draw as well. I have Emperor's Divide that lets me protect a unit. So this will also let Mournful Witness survive. If she's at the battlefield, enemy enters, you can use this, retreat her to your base, and ultimately becomes empowered because technically there was a showdown that happened. The combat happened, it ended, she goes to 4. So really nice for this. Also good to save your other units if you feel like you won't be able to survive a showdown. And then lets you keep tempo for your next turn. Then I have Meditation. This is purely here for draw because you really need to draw in this deck. You easily run out of cards to play. So reaction speed as an additional cost. You may exhaust a friendly unit. If you do, draw 2. So I think this is okay. This is good for holding because you don't really move around units that much. And then you can use this to draw 2. So good. And then another way to kill enemy tempo is called the weak. Kill the sprite or kill Lonely Paro, kill Scuttle Crab, and then your enemy will have to kill one of their units. And then I have the budget version of the seals, Honey Fruit. Pay 2, this enters exhausted. And then you can tap it to pay to add power. So this is slow because you have to pay 2 and it enters exhausted. So much worse than any of the seals. And then for the sideboard, we have 2 Hidden Blades. We have Salvage and Disarming Rake for gear hate. And then Not So Fast to counter spells. And then I don't have it here because I haven't gotten it, but I would like to play 2 Crumbling Sands, which lets you counter a spell as long as it is your enemy's second spell, or as long as an enemy used a spell already that turn. So very situational, but maybe good for sideboard. And I showed a while ago, Kinku Temple, units here with tank have +1. You have Grove of the God Willow and Candlelit Sanctum. These are my battlefields. So I think, Blitz, Charm, you really want to kill tempo. You also really want to draw a lot in this deck because you run out of cards very easily if the game gets drawn out. That happens very often. So that's why I have Lonely Paro and Scuttle Crab. And then you have Discipline for the draw. You have Back Off for the draw. You have Meditation for the draw as well. Drawing is really important here because you run out of cards fast. And then you have a lot of power for Shen, Blitz, for Defy, Key Barrier, Call the Weak. Very expensive. And then if you're replaying Blitz over and over and over again, you would really want to have Honey Fruit. So that's this deck. The most important one for me here, the most important ones I would say that I would really want to have in most games would be Blitz, because he's able to kill tempo so much. And then you have Trevor as a good unit to hold with Sprite. Mournful Witness is really good unit to hold because it's a 2-cost 4 if you save it. And yeah, so that, let me know what you think about this deck. What would you change? Let me know in the comments down below. Be nice about it, please. And if you like this video, please do leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more of this. But that's enough. Let's actually go and test this deck out at a Nexus night. So I'll be right back when I actually get there. Okay, let's go. Alright, we fought against the Rek'Sai. It was 8-2-0. Actually, the first game was not so bad. It was really close. I think I have the honey fruit, which lets you pay to no, you don't pay to. You can exhaust it to add power. So using blitz all over and over and over again. I wasn't using any runes, so I just could keep using blitz. So that game was pretty close. The rough part was just the fact that I didn't have enough draw engine. I didn't get any of the meditations. I only picked up one Lonely Poro, so I couldn't really draw. I was lacking cards, and ended up losing. The second game was not close, like at all. I had a really rough hand for the first three turns because I only picked up, I think, 2 units total, and the rest were spells. So I could not form a board at all because all of my units were getting killed. He was using Cull. He was using that card. I don't remember what that card was. It cost 2 power, and you could just kill a unit. So he was using that, and I didn't. I don't really have not so fast in my main deck. It was in my sideboard, and then I didn't have it for that game. So I couldn't form a board at all. So it was really rough. I think if I have like a decent, I don't really need like a really freaking good board or really good hand for the first 2 turns. I just need a decent hand. Sadly, didn't even win a round. Well, didn't even win a game for the first round. But we'll see what the second round is gonna be like. Who we're fighting against. Yeah, we're back. Round two's done. Lost the first game against Jinx. Second game was a draw. We went overtime. Overall, I lost because he won the first game. So the games were really close. The first game was, I think it was 8-7. Second game, we just never got to finish. But it was practically I score, he scores, I score, he scores, I score. It was just even. First game was, I think there was a chance for a win. But, I had a dead card in my hand. I couldn't use any of my defies because the Jinx doesn't really use any spells. At least he didn't. The only spell he ever played that game was Stack Deck. Actually, for both games. So I could have defied that. But that's the only thing I really could defy. The only things that he was doing in reaction were ambush, because he had a Rengar that could ambush. He had a quick draw on, I forgot what gear that was, but it has reaction speed. You can play it and then attach it immediately. So I can't really defy anything. I had dead cards in my hand. The biggest problem was also the fact that I didn't have enough draw engine again. With Jinx, he was discarding a lot of his cards, but because of his legend that lets him draw one card if he has 4 cards or less in hand, it doesn't matter if he has a few cards because he still gets 2 draws for that turn where he only has 4 cards or less in his hand. For me, I have nothing. I think I was able to use meditation once. The biggest problem with meditation is the fact that I think I said this a while ago, is that you lose a movement. You lose tempo for getting 2 draws. So depends on how good your 2 draws are. You could lose tempo, you could gain tempo, or you could just go even. You have to get lucky though. It's always scary to waste a movement because you have to exhaust. Had very limited moves per turn. Let's see what the next game is going to be like. Hopefully, if you don't get the win, at least a draw. Alright, so I am back home. We finished with a W at the very least. So for the last game, I played against an Ezreal. For the first game, I won. Nothing too much to say about the first game. Second game was a tie. We went overtime, didn't get to finish, so ended up being a draw. And overall, I won. So really happy with a win there. Although I will say that the S player was new. He's new to Riftbound. I know he plays other TCGs, but he just recently got into Riftbound. So there's that. I know his deck isn't complete. I think he didn't have 1,000 tail, but he had the other staples for S, like Starcrossed. And I don't remember the name of the other spell that lets you return a unit from a battlefield to hand. I will say, it might have gone differently if the player was more experienced or had the full, a completed deck. But I will take the win because I think I played well. I won't say the new player is bad, but there's a difference playing someone who is new to Riftbound and someone who is experienced and at least has like a full deck with every card that they need. At the very least, we did go 1-2 today. So I won one and lost 2 games. So the biggest thing with Shen from this Nexus night, from all the games I've been playing online on Rift Atlas, the biggest thing I noticed is you don't have enough draw engine. I easily run out of cards to play when the game goes long. There's not much that I can do to draw. I do have meditate. Yes, there is that. But I think I said it a while ago. I'm not sure if I did, but if I didn't, the problem with meditation is just the fact that you lose a move if you use it and exhaust a unit because ultimately you can't move it anymore. But the reason why I think it works with this deck, or at least with hold decks, is just the fact that ideally you want to hold the battlefield as long as you can. And if you're holding, you're not really gonna want to move units around. It's gonna depend on how good the hold is. So if you can't really hold for long, meditation becomes useless. You can draw one card, but that's like ultimately wasting 2 energies to draw one. With Lonely Poro, with Scuttle, at least you have a unit. If you don't do anything and you just draw one with meditation, then it's ultimately a waste. You brick a card. You have Honey Fruit, which it's low. You have to pay 2 to use it. It enters exhausted, so you have to wait for a full turn. Go back to you for you to actually be able to use it. It's weaker than the other seals because the seals you can at least use it right away, and you only have to pay 1 energy for the seals. And with the fact that you're using Shen, the 3 energy, 1 power Shen, the yellow Shen, not the new Shen from the Vendetta, but the one from Origins. That already has tank. Blitzcrank already has tank. When you're using those, basically your legend is wasted. There's no point to use the legend unless you're able to hold the battlefield with a lot of units. So even if you have Shen on there, if you have Blitz, and they have other smaller might units, and for example, your opponent can kill 2 of your units, you can at least decide which one. If you want to kill Blitz and another unit to save a different one that you think would hold better. For example, if you have Blitz and Trevor and a Sprite, and an enemy enters with 9 might, because Blitz is 6 with the new battlefield, and then the Sprite is 3, so that's 9. You can give tank to the Sprite, make sure Trevor stays alive. But it doesn't happen too often where you have a lot of units on your battlefield. There are times where I feel like I didn't get to use Shen's legend ability, for maybe I only use it like once in one game, or maybe not even once. I'll continue thinking about what else to add, what to change around. Let me know what you think would be nice to switch around, what you think should be replaced in this deck, and what you feel about Shen. Whether you like him, you don't like him, you feel like he's fucking terrible, or if you think he's actually playable. I'd like to know your thoughts. And yeah, if you like this video, please do leave a like. And yeah, maybe consider subscribing. See my other videos where I do vlogs of Riftbound. And I will see you in the next one. Peace. Bye bye.